Now, many people are wondering if we'll see any major changes before June. Personally, I don't think we'll be waiting that long. But let's be honest, nobody knows the exact timing. What we do know is that there's a lot happening right now behind the scenes. Iraq is strengthening its relationship with the International Monetary Fund, and both parties have agreed to expand their cooperation. One of the major focuses is improving foreign trade financing by building stronger ties with international correspondent banks. This is a positive move for Iraq's economy. An agreement was also reached to support the use of the Iraqi dinar in economic transactions, a strategic step toward increasing the currency's stability and relevance. This kind of development could have long-term implications for Iraq's financial future. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to wake up one day and find the value of your currency had skyrocketed overnight? It sounds unbelievable, but for some investors, this scenario is exactly what they're hoping for. The idea of seeing your investment grow exponentially in a single day is thrilling. Today, there's some real buzz in the financial community about this very possibility, specifically with the Vietnamese Dong and the Iraqi Dinar. Recent updates have sparked a lot of conversations about a potential revaluation of these currencies, and if that happens, the outcome could be very favorable for current holders. So why should you care about all this? Whether you're a seasoned currency investor or simply someone interested in global finance, developments like these can affect a broader economic landscape and potentially your own financial strategy. That's why today we're going to explore what's really going on with the Vietnamese Dong and the Iraqi Dinar. Let's start with a quick explanation. In the world of currency, RV stands for revaluation. This happens when a country's currency increases in value relative to others, often as a result of improved economic conditions or government intervention. Many analysts believe that both the Vietnamese Dong and the Iraqi Dinar may be heading toward a revaluation. Vietnam, for example, has been experiencing steady economic growth. It's rapidly establishing itself as a global manufacturing hub, attracting increasing levels of foreign investment. This growth boosts confidence in the Vietnamese economy and increases demand for the dong, which could push its value higher. A strong economic foundation makes a revaluation not only possible but perhaps even likely. Meanwhile, Iraq is also showing signs of recovery. After years of conflict and instability, the country is making meaningful progress. Oil exports, which form a large part of Iraq's revenue, remain relatively stable despite fluctuations, and the government is working on reforms aimed at strengthening governance and financial systems. These reforms could contribute to greater confidence in the dinar and support the idea of an upward revaluation. Of course, strong economic indicators are a big part of the equation. For Vietnam, growth in GDP, controlled inflation, and increased foreign investment all point to a positive trajectory. In fact, some reports suggest that Vietnam is on track to exceed its economic growth targets this year, reinforcing the argument for a currency adjustment. As for Iraq, improvements in governance and trade agreements are creating a more favorable environment for growth and financial stability. But it's not just about economic statistics. Market sentiment also plays a big role in currency value. Investors are watching closely for policy announcements, government decisions, and other indicators that might signal a revaluation is near. There's an active online community, forums, social media platforms, and expert channels, all buzzing with speculation and analysis. For many who have held the Iraqi dinar for years, there's a renewed sense of hope that the long-anticipated change might finally be around the corner. If you're holding either of these currencies, a revaluation could dramatically increase the value of your holdings. On the other hand, if you're still considering whether or not to invest, this may be a time to take a closer look. That said, it's always important to do your own research and be aware of the risks. One major risk is the unpredictability of government decisions. Policies can shift quickly and affect valuations in unexpected ways. So while the outlook may seem promising, it's critical to approach with a healthy dose of caution. Always consult credible sources and financial professionals before making major investment moves. Let's talk about the role of the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, in all of this. For years, Iraq has struggled with a gap between the official exchange rate and the black market rate. One of the key responsibilities of any central bank is to close that gap and stabilize the local currency. Recent reports suggest that the CBI is making real progress. In fact, several officials have come forward saying the CBI's actions are beginning to show results. The cooperation between Iraq's government and the CBI is proving to be a critical factor. One prominent figure, Nazari, publicly praised the CBI's recent achievements, especially their success in bringing down the dollar exchange rate in Iraq. That's a big deal because the dollar rate affects virtually everything, from the prices of basic goods in stores to the strength and resilience of the overall economy. When the value of the dinar rises against the dollar, it becomes easier for local businesses to import goods. That means better prices for consumers and more predictable costs for business owners. A stronger currency can reduce inflationary pressures and improve overall economic health. However, we also need to consider the long-standing influence of Iraq's black market currency trade. Many citizens have relied on black market exchanges for better rates, which creates instability and unfair advantages. The CBI is working to reduce this dependency, and that's a major step toward achieving financial security for everyday Iraqis. There's also a growing emphasis on financial education. The Azra Flak campaign, for example, is encouraging citizens to place greater trust in official banking channels. They're promoting awareness among adults and children alike, and it's refreshing to see a push for financial literacy. Educating the public is essential because it empowers people to take control of their financial futures. When people understand how the system works, they can make informed decisions that benefit themselves and their communities. So, what changes might we expect in the near future? With the CBI continuing its efforts to stabilize the dinar, we may see more domestic businesses thriving due to improved financial conditions. Local entrepreneurs could find it easier to plan and expand, knowing they can rely on a more predictable currency. Additionally, as confidence in the dinar grows, we may see an increase in foreign investment. Investors tend to seek out stable economies, and Iraq's recent progress could make it a more attractive destination. Another important factor is transparency. The CBI has been more open about its strategies, and that communication helps build public trust. When people understand what the central bank is doing and why, they're less likely to act out of fear or speculation. Instead, they can make better financial decisions based on facts. So what can you do to stay informed as all these changes unfold? First, keep an eye on credible news sources that cover updates from the CBI and Iraq's broader financial landscape. Engage with local experts if possible, financial advisors or economists who can explain the implications in everyday language. Communities can also benefit from having open discussions and sharing knowledge, especially as things continue to develop. If you find yourself confused or uncertain, don't hesitate to seek out educational resources or participate in local initiatives focused on financial literacy. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to navigate these changes. The currency world can feel complicated, especially when changes seem slow or unpredictable. But staying engaged and informed can lead to better financial outcomes in the long run. Now I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the CBI's recent actions? Do you believe these changes will make a real difference in the daily lives of Iraqi citizens? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Your perspective matters. To wrap things up, both the Vietnamese Dong and Iraqi Dinar show signs that a revaluation might be on the horizon. The economic indicators, government actions, and growing investor interest are all aligning in a way we haven't seen in years. If you're already invested, stay informed and monitor developments closely. If you're thinking about investing, take your time, do your research, and consider speaking with a financial advisor. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends who might be interested, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. And again, drop your comments below. We'd love to hear your insights and experiences with currency investment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.